Sup everyone, I'm your female otaku, and I'm here to review episode 1 of Subete ni Naru, or The Perfect Insider. Now, before I get into just talking about this episode, I gotta mention something. I mentioned about this briefly over in my top 10 upcoming fall 2015 anime, but I want to dive into that more, okay? So, basically, I mentioned over in the video when I was talking about The Perfect Insider that there was a live action for The Perfect Insider that aired last year, okay? It was a live action drama, and it was a total flop, okay? I'm not going to mention about acting and stuff like that. I'm going to talk about story-wise, okay? So, basically, this isn't spoilers. It's not spoilers, okay? Because they also mentioned this in the description for the anime, okay? So, The Perfect Insider is about Moe Nishinoso and her sensei Saikawa. I have the names down here, so that's why I'm looking down. Saikawa, and they team up and stuff to solve murder cases that happened in locked rooms, okay? So, you know, how did the murderer get in there and how did he leave? And okay, so that's how it goes. Now, the reason why the live action was a flop was because apparently the murder cases ended up getting way more bizarre as the episodes went on until it became completely ridiculous and totally unbelievable. And then they added a lot of forced romance in there that started taking up the story and stuff like that. So I didn't watch the live action. I watched about 10 minutes of it, but then I was like, hold up, let me do my research first. And so, yeah. So we can't really have our total faith in A1 Pictures because, you know, A1 Pictures is a specifically hit or miss studio. All right, that's the kind of studio they are, okay? It's either going to be a massive hit or it's going to be a total flop. They don't really make in between average like anime. That's not really them, okay? So, and this is also a new area for them. It's a mystery seinen. A1 Pictures usually does fantasy and sometimes they do tragedies such as Anohana and Your Lie in April, and but normally they do fantasies, a little bit of shonen action here and there. That's mainly what they do, okay? So, I'm gonna go into this anime cautious, but we'll just have to see. It'll only get better or worse from here. So, this first episode was very dialogue heavy, okay? And what happened within this episode, half of what happened in this episode I actually saw in the first 10 minutes of the live action, so I don't know if that means anything. But you see, it was with the conversation with Moe and the doctor, okay? So apparently the doctor is being, she's imprisoned because she apparently murdered her parents when she claims that a doll did it. So, Chucky strikes again. Chucky every time. Can't trust him. Can't trust Chucky. Anyway, jokes aside, why don't I go down with the production values and stuff of this episode and the anime overall. So, OP, I enjoyed the animation and the song itself. Same with the ending, I also enjoyed the song. And for the animation overall, it kind of reminds me of Steins Gate, not the character designs, of course, but I meant like how Steins Gate, their animation, they kind of, with the color palettes, focus a lot on sunlight and how sunlight would hit a regular person, like you see how sunlight hits. I noticed that a lot. Like, that's how this is set up with The Perfect Insider. They focus on how sunlight hits regular, you know, people's human skin and stuff, and have the shading in the back. So I kind of like that. It gives it a more of a realistic touch to it, okay? And so The Perfect Insider is apparently going to be competing against Sakurako-san with Mystery, because, you know, Sakurako's investigation aired yesterday, and then we had Perfect Insider. But, of course, you know, Sakurako had the more interesting first episode. So, what's going to happen next week? I suppose they're going to be going on the little trip that they've been saying, okay? So, I think the relationship bonding is more strong with Sakurako-san's investigation. instead of here, because I see a pretty big distance with Saikawa and Nishinoso, but I don't know, maybe they'll get closer, maybe they'll end up in a relationship, but hopefully it doesn't completely take over their main theme, which is mystery. All right, let's hope it doesn't get too ridiculous to the point where I'm just all like, okay, drop. So I'm gonna stick with it. Okay, I'm not gonna give it a 3-episode test. I'm gonna stick with it, see how it goes, and hopefully it doesn't flop. A1 Pictures, good luck. This is new for you. Good luck. Catch me later as I review Lance and Masks. I'm your female otaku. Sayonara.